afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. To ensure that we'll have a smooth webinar over the next 80 minutes, please take note of the following. All information provided is for your general information only and does not contain nor convey any type of legal advice. All materials presented today belongs to the organizers and speakers. This webinar is being recorded. You will be muted by default when you join us. There is a Q&A icon on Zoom located at the bottom of your screen, which is now activated. At any point of time, you can click on the Q&A button to post your question to the speakers. For questions which we can't answer during the webinar, we will work with the speakers after that and come back to you via written responses. As such, please ensure that the name and company which you have entered into your Zoom account is accurate.
Global Connect at SBF helps Singapore businesses expand into overseas markets. Since November 2019, we have guided Singapore businesses as they seize business opportunities in Asia and beyond. From identifying emerging trends to closing deals, we provide a full spectrum of overseas business expansion services. With Global Connect at SBF, you can learn about new markets, customers, and free trade agreements across the globe. Land opportunities and scale up in new markets, both physically and digitally. Localize overseas operations to ensure sustainable long-term success. Our Singapore Enterprise Centres in Indonesia and Vietnam also provide on-the-ground business and market development services. We also provide a dedicated digital B2B marketplace to quickly scale your business overseas. With Global Connect B2B, set up your company profile in minutes and start contacting thousands of regional partners and customers. Last year, Global Connect at SBF reached out to over 2,000 companies, completing many overseas expansion projects through its network of trusted business specialists and professionals. In 2021, Global Connect at SBF will also launch new initiatives for Singapore businesses to position themselves on the international stage. Explore business opportunities across ASEAN, South Asia, Japan, and other markets by joining us at Festival, our flagship digital event. Become part of the Global Connect at SBF community today and start enjoying exclusive benefits. Customized business advice, access to our overseas Singapore Enterprise Centres, preferential rates for services, as well as structured training, one-on-one advisory, and assistance on using free trade agreements to extract greater commercial advantages abroad. Global Connect at SBF, connecting your business to global opportunities. Global Connect at SBF helps Singapore businesses expand into overseas markets. Since November 2019, we have guided Singapore businesses as they seize business opportunities in Asia and beyond. From identifying emerging trends to closing deals, we provide a full spectrum of overseas business expansion services. With Global Connect at SBF, you can learn about new markets, customers, and free trade agreements across the globe. Land opportunities and scale up in new markets, both physically and digitally. Localize overseas operations to ensure sustainable long-term success. Our Singapore Enterprise Centres in Indonesia and Vietnam also provide on-the-ground business and market development services. We also provide a dedicated digital B2B marketplace to quickly scale your business overseas. With Global Connect B2B, set up your company profile in minutes and start contacting thousands of regional partners and customers. Last year, Global Connect at SBF reached out to over 2,000 companies, completing many overseas expansion projects through its network of trusted business specialists and professionals. In 2021, Global Connect at SBF will also launch new initiatives for Singapore businesses to position themselves on the international stage. Explore business opportunities across ASEAN, South Asia, Japan, and other markets by joining us at Festival, our flagship digital event. Become part of the Global Connect at SBF community today and start enjoying exclusive benefits. Customized business advice, access to our overseas Singapore Enterprise Centres, preferential rates for services, as well as structured training, one-on-one advisory, and assistance on using free trade agreements to extract greater commercial advantages abroad. Global Connect at SBF, connecting your business to global opportunities.
Learn with us about new markets, customers, and free trade agreements. Learn with us through our dedicated digital spaces and established networks. And localize with us and deepen your market presence overseas. The Professional Conversion Program for Internationalization Professional supports companies to recruit and train people for internationalization. It has a B2B e-commerce track to support companies that use e-commerce platforms for overseas expansion. If you're keen to find out more, please scan the QR code or simply email my colleagues. Southeast Asia is at the front line of a climate emergency, according to a report released by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Billions of tons of CO2 have been released to our atmosphere. Global temperatures are rising. Our ice sheets at Arctic and Antarctica are melting. Many nations in Southeast Asia are low-lying coastal areas at the mercy of rising sea level. Clearly, Mother Earth is sending a signal to us, urging for actions. Energy efficiency, sometimes known as the fifth fuel, after coal, hydrocarbons, nuclear, and renewable energy, is the cheapest of all and forms an essential part of major blueprints to tackle global warming. Never before has there been a more urgent need to ramp up on our energy efficiency efforts to conserve energy and protect our planet Earth. And for businesses, this is an opportunity for innovation and value creation. Ladies and gentlemen from Singapore, colleagues from Malaysia, Indonesia, and overseas, welcome to Embarking on Energy Efficiency, or EE projects in short. The SBF is very pleased to be working together with UOB as our knowledge partner on a series of webinars revolving around different topics of sustainable financing every month. Whether you are a large MNC, small SME, whether you are in the construction, manufacturing, infrastructure, or retail industry, Whether you're from government agencies or trade associations, we hope to increase your awareness and understanding of sustainable financing for EE projects today. Our objective for you is to leave this webinar thinking in terms of how to partake in EE opportunities in Singapore and beyond. My name is Shu Lim from SBF, and I'm pleased to be your host and moderator for today's virtual event. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting lineup of speakers for you today. Over the next 1 hour, we'll be hearing from 3 esteemed speakers representing a broad spectrum of the industry. First, from our knowledge partner, UOB, and second, from one of Asia's largest diversified real estate group, CapitaLand Investments, and third, from Singapore award-winning ESCO, what we call Energy Services Company, G Energy. In between the 3 presentations, we will be conducting 2 polling sessions with you, our dear audiences watching this from your home or in your office. At 3 o'clock, we will start the Q&A session. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to key in your questions using the Q&A button located at the bottom of your Zoom screen at any time during the webinar, and your questions will be seen by all our panelists here today. If you're a Singapore company exploring energy efficiency projects overseas, or if you have questions regarding sustainable financing, do sign up for our free business consultation session. It's very easy. Just email my colleague Zichuan, and representatives from SBF and UOB will be happy to meet with you after this webinar to assist you on your financing and internationalization journey. To kick off this event, I would like to invite Mr. Jasper Wong, Head of Construction and Infrastructure, Sector Solutions Group, UOB. Jasper joined UOB in 2013, and he has more than 25 years of experience in project financing across the region, in sectors such as renewable energy, oil and gas, and infrastructure. In his presentation entitled Driving Environmental Responsibility Through Energy Efficiency Initiative, Jasper will tell us more about what is energy efficiency, how can we tap into EE in a sustainable manner that translate into cost saving for your businesses, and especially the financing solutions offered by UOB that you can tap into. Jasper, please.
Thank you, Sue. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to thank SBF for the invitation, and it's great to be here. I think given the post-COVID situation, you know, everyone, either you're working from home or you're working in the office, you're consuming energy. So the topic for today is driving environmental responsibility through EE initiative. Our motto is less is more with energy efficiency. So let's deep dive into it. Let me go and start with this slide. I think a lot of you are quite familiar with the one on the left. You know, last month in August, there was on August the 24th, there was a huge rain in the morning. That it rained about the recorded rainfall was 250 millimeters, which is actually equivalent to double of the rainfall in August over the last 10 years, right? So as you can see, you know, the extreme weather that we have not experienced before, or they call it the 100-year flood, or has actually starting to reoccur, and they are reoccurring more and more often. And on the right-hand side, you know, we hear about the wildfires in Greece. We have floods in China, in Japan, in Europe. So all these are happening around us. So what does that mean, right? So that means that the weather is getting more extreme, and there is a global climate crisis. Now, in terms of what is facing us, you know, by 2050, which is not that far away, by 2050, it's estimated that the global population will grow to 10 billion, and the total amount of floor space area to be used will increase by 100%. And because of the urbanization of the cities, buildings will be responsible for more than 50% of the global material use. So That's about 42 billion tons annually consumed, right? And out of this, the carbon dioxide sector emissions from buildings, whether it's construction and operations, accounts for 40%, right? Almost 40% of the global CO2 emission. So with this as a background, the importance and also the urgency to tackle sustainability has become more and more urgent. And if you look across the ASEAN countries, the research that we have done look at where is the potential growth. And if you look across all the 5 countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Hong Kong, and China, a lot of the countries have now also set regulations, stricter regulations, and make it even higher to move the construction sector or the built environment sector to another level. And this is all in the name of ensuring that we can keep our temperature growth to less than 2 degrees. Yeah. Now, back in Singapore, we see that I'm sure you're familiar with this 2030 Singapore Green Plan. If you look at the dark blue boxes, what we have done is highlight the areas that are relevant for built environment opportunities. So if you are in the built environment sector, these are the areas that you can look at. And with the green boxes, the 5 green boxes that we have highlighted, these are the energy efficiency opportunities. Now, building on that, BCA has also come up with the 80-80-80 by 2030. I'm sure most of us are familiar with this. Is 80% building by GFA to be green by 2030, 80% new development to be SLE from 2030 onwards, and 80% of improvement from the 2005 level by 2030. So how does that, what does that impact, or how does that impact us? Okay, so if you are a building developer, if you look at this, what we have done is to compare the 2018 levels, the EE standard levels, against the recently announced Green Mark 2021. And as you can see here, even if you are an existing building, if you are only meeting 25% against the 2005 baseline level, by the time you renew your Green Mark certificate, you need to hit at least 40% for minimum for existing building. And the bar has also been raised for new building to 50%. And if you are building a Green Mark Platinum building, you need to hit 55% energy efficiency improvement. And lastly, for a super low energy, you need to hit 60%. And BCA has also set the requirements that, I actually can go and buy a renewable energy credit to offset, against the energy that I'm using. So that is no longer so, because you need to at least hit SLE 60% first before they will count the offset to come in. Yeah. So just to take note of that. So this is a chart that we have extracted, from the Green Mark 2021. If you look at the left-hand side, this is the application that a building owner needs to go through. If you are building a new building, obviously the top box will applicable for you. And if you are an existing Green Mark holder, you can still fall under the bottom box. Whereby if you are only a Green Mark Gold level, your level now has increased from 25% to 40%. However, if you are applying for a new building and you are doing major retrofitting to your energy use, you will be required to meet the GM 2021 certificate, which is on top. Yeah. The new thing that is happening is also on the sustainability section. So in order for you to hit the Gold or Gold Plus, you need to have at least two sections, sustainability sections, to fulfill in order to qualify for the certification. So these are the recent changes that has been coming in and will be applicable by November this year. Okay, so what we have done is also have listed the stricter regulatory standards that are coming in for Singapore building. So BCA and NEA has both come up with regulations that building owners will need to fulfill. BCA, I think we have already touched on the green mark, and on the industrial side, NEA has also started requiring energy efficiency opportunity assessment, which the existing, whether you're existing building or you're new, if you are a new industrial building, you will need to do a EEOA, yeah, at a certain point in time. And on top of that, the NEA has this minimal energy efficiency standard, MEES, that at least the existing building or new building needs to meet by 2025. So by 2025, there are certain energy level efficiency that you need to be operating at in order to meet the regulation. So with all this, what does that mean for the developer, for the M&E contractor, for the ESCOs, and also for the tenant, right? So why don't we just go in and just quickly dwell into what is energy efficiency. So for us, like I said, energy efficiency is doing less with more, and the energy efficiency brings a variety of benefits, right? So first is the companies can actually meet its ESG objectives. There's must have potential savings, and the capital value of the energy assets such as green building can also be enhanced. So this is what you will benefit from when you undertake a energy efficiency project. Now, if you look at as I said before, the CO2 emission by buildings, building and construction operations will account by close to 40%, and even industrial building accounts for about a third of the CO2 emission. So plenty of opportunities for building owners to upgrade, and also plenty of opportunity for the ecosystem. Now, the key energy efficiency teams, emerging teams that we're seeing, not only because there's stricter regulations to meet the environmental concerns, but there's also the move towards smart and sustainable city, right? And because of the move to smart and sustainable city, people want to use less resources to be able to achieve a greater efficiency. And all this ties into what we are seeing, the use of IoT, the use of systems, the use of networks, cloud computing, edge computing, as well as being able to use smart devices as well. So all these are contributing to emerging teams, right? And stricter regulations, as I said, and plus also sustainability and green financing drive. And this has been happening over the last couple of years. Because if you are a listed company, you are familiar with sustainability reporting, and with the sustainability reporting, there are things that the company will embark on, which will impact in terms of how you run your business, how you source your materials, and also how you chart your costs. Where the company is moving into in the next 10, 15, or 20 years. Okay, with that, let me just just share with you the 7 areas of energy efficiency that you can look at. So first of all, I think if people are normally talking about solar, I think solar is the first thing that people start to ask about. Can I save money by installing solar on my rooftop, right? So that's the easiest and the fastest a building owner can do. Then next, they will start looking at how they optimize their building, whether it's chiller, whether it's air condition, lighting, facade, elevator, and most recently also we're seeing a lot more energy and power management system optimization projects being undertaken. And if you look on the right-hand side, lighting can save you 80% energy savings, but the total amount of savings may not be as large. But if you want to go one step higher, chiller upgrades and also the energy and power management system can make up quite a large part of your energy savings. Okay, now if you look at what kind of EE contracting models, across the market, there are generally two types. One is the design build model, whereby the owner actually pay for the capex upfront. They will then go out and issue a tender, and then the contractors will come in and bid, and then they will design and install, and then they will pass the keys back to the building owners, and then they will operate. Building owners will operate. The other model is the energy as a service. So this model, whereby it's zero upfront capital for building owner, they hired a third party, which normally is accredited ESCOs, to come in and do the design and do the retrofitting for them, and the ESCOs will also make the investment on behalf of the building owner. Thereafter, the ESCO will recoup the investment through the cost savings from the EE project. Now, the advantage of this is the ESCOs have the interest of the ESCOs and the building owner is aligned, because ESCOs will want to maximize the amount of energy savings from the building so that they can extract the largest value from the cost saving. And after the contractual period, there is an option for the building owner to take over the asset, or they may continue to just farm out and let the ESCOs to continue to operate their energy management system. So overall, we're seeing the energy as a service is gaining traction as the preferred contracting model, because one is zero upfront investment, financing is undertaken by ESCOs, and is maintenance free for the building owner. Now, I want to share with you, recently we have done a EE survey across the UOB markets, and these are some of the results that we have obtained. Most of the participants that have reverted, they have at least some form of EE experience, yeah. And majority, we're glad to say the majority of them has the EE experience, and of all the respondents that came back, 97% say that the sustainability is important for them, right? And about 80% have also expressed interest if it's a zero outlay model. Now, I want to bring your attention to the right-hand side. On top of that, we asked them, what kind of energy savings that you actually have obtained from your project. Now, at least 2/3 of the respondents have come back and said that they have saved a variance from 10% onwards up to 50%, right? And that's quite a large proportion. Now, there is also a third of those who are saved less than 10%. Now, we did not ask them what kind of EE projects that they have undertaken, but I believe that those that are saving less than 10% could only be doing a LED update, right? Upgrade. So as you can see, even if you just do a LED upgrade on your building, you at least can save close to 10% from your electricity bill. Now, the common questions that we normally get, from the participants is the misconception, and also the common questions that EE projects expensive, my business operation will be disrupted, I'm not convinced with the energy saving. I think a lot of this has to do with the building owner try to undertake the project on their own. So our advice is work with the experienced and accredited ESCO. Let them come in and take a baseline study on your building, and also provide the professional advice in terms of the potential savings that you can extract from the energy efficiency project. Now, the other common misconception is, EE is new technology, subject to obsolescence. there's no need to improve my building. I hear that a lot. BCA have done a survey, right? Over the past 9 years, the EUI, energy usage intensity for green building, has improved by 14% since 2008. So what that means is everyone is progressing forward. And what that means is if you can save 14%, means there's another 14% into your pocket, right? Put into your pocket. So with that, that's something that I believe building owners should be looking into that. And also, the useful life of the building is very long, and we need to look at it from an overall useful life perspective rather than just looking at, for the next 5 years return. Yeah. Here are just a quick couple of examples of any energy savings benefit. Most of them ranges a payback period between 2 years to about 6.5 or 7 years. And on the right hand side, UOB Plaza, we ourselves also walk the talk that we will ensure that our buildings are also Green Mark certified and also enjoys the energy savings as well. These are some of the projects that we picked up from Malaysia. One on the left hand side is quite interesting because this is for industrial, for Cadbury plant. The energy, they have achieved 30% reduction in electricity costs and more than 50% carbon emission reduction. So from an industrial perspective, the savings is even larger. Yeah. And Thailand, mainly we are seeing a lot of offices and also mixed development, energy savings ranging from 50 to 60%. Yeah. Now, I just want to end my presentation with our upcoming launch of our U Energy program. From what we have explained just now, regards to how we look at the market or where we are coming, where the industry is moving, or where the whole country is moving into, we believe that there is plenty of opportunity to actually help the ecosystem partners, the players, to actually scale up. So that's why we are going to launch the U Energy program, which is Asia's first integrated energy efficiency financing platform, with 3 objectives that in mind. So first is to promote sustainability. Second is to support the ecosystem players, right? And with the end-to-end solutions on one platform, and also provide financing for the end user. So whether it's building owner, whether it's ESCOs or residential as well. So this is just a quick teaser of the financing solutions that we will be offering for the energy service provider, whether you are a building owner or developer, ESCOs, then M&E contractors, we can cover your working capital financing, your value chain, and also the end user. So this one, for building owner, for commercial, industrial, as well as residential segment. Yeah. Now, besides this, we have a UOB's Smart City Sustainable Finance Framework. Energy efficiency falls under as one of the 7 critical areas under our Smart City Framework. So this Smart City Framework, effectively what that means is that if a borrower wants to obtain a green loan from UOB, they do not need to set up the framework themselves. They can actually trigger UOB to get the loan from UOB, riding on the framework that we have set up. And this framework was launched in November under the MAS GSLS scheme, the Green and Sustainability Link scheme. And it is no additional cost to the borrower, and we can standardize the reporting for the borrower as well. So lastly, I just want to give a heads up. The U Energy program will be launched on October 11, so do watch that space. The QR code here is to visit our website. We have other solutions that are related to sustainability, so feel free to check it out. With that, Shu, I'll pass the time back to you.
Thank you so much, Jasper. And thank you for your comprehensive introduction on the EE landscape in the region, and also highlighting the potential dollars and cents that can be saved by implementing such EE projects. And congratulations on the launch of the U Energy program in about 2 weeks' time. We are looking much forward to it. So, okay. Audiences watching this webinar, please feel free to type in your questions at any point of time. And you can just do it simply by clicking on the Q&A button located at the bottom and pose your questions to our panelists. Before we move on to our second speaker, we would like to get your thoughts in our first poll session. Think about sustainable financing and how it relates to your business. Why are you not tapping into sustainable financing at the moment? And if you are keen on it, in which area are you most interested in? Would you like to find out more about grants or financial assistance program in Singapore which you can tap on for overseas expansion? May I have the poll questions launched, please? You will see on your screen a poll with 4 questions on your screen. Answer all the questions and click on Submit. The poll will be left there for about 5 minutes, so you can take your time. We are privileged to have Mr. Ted Howland, Vice President, Group Sustainability, CapitaLand Investment with us today. And also a big congratulations to CapitaLand Investment, which has been listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange this Monday as one of the world's largest listed real estate investment managers. Ted has 22 years of experience in sustainability, development, project management, and environmental engineering. A registered professional engineer with both master's and bachelor degree in civil environmental engineering from Stanford University, Ted is highly skilled in certification and operational environmental monitoring and management plans implementation. He is also a subject matter expert in ventilation and thermal comfort, water treatment, water recycling, and wastewater treatment. Ted will tell us more about innovation journey towards a more efficient sustainability and how that has been integrated into CapitaLand Investments real estate projects in Singapore and overseas. I now call upon Ted to share his presentation with us. Ted, please.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here today. Let me get the... Alrighty. At the Singapore Business Federation's series on embarking on energy efficient projects. Again, my name is Ted Howland, and I'm a Vice President in charge of the Environmental Management and Innovation team under Group Sustainability at CapitaLand. Today, I'm pleased to share briefly with you about our innovation journey toward a more efficient sustainability. Apologies, there's a delay on the slides. Okay, CapitaLand has one of the largest real estate investment management businesses globally. Our sustainability journey started 20 years ago, and we wanted to build on this firm foundation. During this period, the company has grown exponentially in size with increased diversity and complexity in our real estate portfolio. We cover many asset classes from office, industrial, business park, logistics, data centers, to residential, retail, lodging, and integrated developments. We manage 6 listed real estate investment trusts and business trusts, as well as over 20 private funds. Our global footprint now stretches across more than 230 cities in over 30 countries. With such a diverse portfolio, the challenge was to have a strategic blueprint that can galvanize the sustainability efforts across the entire group on a common course so as to maximize our impact. In short, as a company, we feel that sustainability has a profound and long-lasting impact in the world we live in. Therefore, we place sustainability at the core of everything we do. As a responsible real estate company, CapitaLand contributes to the environmental and social well-being of the communities where we operate and needs to incorporate the sustainability considerations across the full spectrum of the real estate business. To push the boundaries of change, CapitaLand will transit to a low-carbon business that is aligned with carbon science. We're the first real estate company in Asia, excluding Japan, to have our carbon emissions reduction targets validated by the Science Based Targets Initiative. In November 2020, our carbon emission reduction targets were approved by SBTi for a well below 2 degrees C scenario. The targets are in line with the goals of the Paris Agreement to keep global temperature rise well within 2 degrees C this century. To this end, we launched CapitaLand's 2030 Sustainability Master Plan in October 2020. The master plan articulates the group's sustainability targets over the next decade. This is a dynamic plan that will be reviewed every 2 years, focusing on the 3 key themes of build, portfolio resilience, and energy efficiency, enable thriving and future adaptive communities, accelerate sustainability, innovation, and collaboration, which drive CapitaLand sustainability efforts in the environment, social, and governance pillars, and allow us to compute an overall return on sustainability. To achieve these themes, CapitaLand has committed to an execution strategy through 5 different pathways. Integrate sustainability into CapitaLand's real estate lifecycle, from the earliest stage of the group's investment process to design, procurement, construction, operations, and redevelopment or divestment. Sustainability targets will be embedded in policies, processes, best practices, and KPIs for business operation. Strengthen innovation and collaboration to drive sustainability. CapitaLand will continue to source globally for new ideas and technologies to meet its sustainability ambitions and work with like-minded partners to create shared values. Number 3, leverage sustainability trends and data analytics. This allows CapitaLand to track critical performance and progress in energy consumption, carbon emission, water usage, waste management, and health and safety. These measurements, along with social indicators, are key to driving performance across our operating properties and development projects. 4, monitor and report progress to ensure transparency. As CapitaLand tracks its sustainability progress, it will continue to validate its performance by external assurance, ensure timely and accurate disclosure, and align its sustainability report to international standards. And lastly, increase engagement and communication with key stakeholders. It is key to build awareness among employees, investors, customers, and communities, and collectively affect transformational change to achieve our 2030 targets. So, how's that worked out for us so far? In 2020, we reduced our global properties portfolio energy and water consumption intensities by 40.2% and 52.6% respectively from 2008 baseline, achieving a utilities cost avoidance of $270 million. We also expanded our use of renewable energy. For example, the solar panels at our properties in India and Singapore generated almost 15 megawatt hours of renewable energy, which would avoid about 7,500 tons of carbon, which is the equivalent to removing over 1,600 cars powered by fossil fuels from the road. Power generated by solar panels at our Singapore properties also helped to meet Singapore's 2020 solar deployment target of 350 megawatt peak. This clean energy generated further enabled us to power CapitaLand's corporate offices, over 24,000 square meters, with renewable energy in Singapore. I'll cover our Sustainability X challenge at the end of this talk. In sustainable finance, we raised $3.8 billion, including the largest sustainability-linked bilateral loan in Singapore's real estate sector. As we green our global diversified portfolio, we also integrate sustainability considerations throughout the real estate lifecycle and review all of our new investments against our 2030 master plan targets. At the investment stage, we align the investment with our sustainability master plan, conduct an environmental health and safety impact assessment, and finally quantify a return on sustainability. This is a measure of the financial returns we get that we would generate from implementing sustainable technologies and energy efficient technologies. In design, procurement, construction, redevelopment stage, we design in accordance with our sustainable building guidelines, we test bed innovations, and we monitor performance. Finally, in our operations, we conduct asset planning to align with our SMP, our Sustainability Master Plan, push for sustainable operational excellence, and continue to innovate and collaborate to introduce new technologies. Our Sustainability Master Plan is quite detailed and complicated due to the wide-ranging nature of our business. I would urge you to develop your own plans, focusing on your own offerings and strengths as a way to guide your energy efficiency improvements. Now, zooming in for a moment, on our sustainable building guidelines, we integrate reducing the carbon footprint throughout the life cycle of our buildings through procuring building materials with lower embodied carbon and more efficient building design and construction. As you can see from the bottom of the bar chart, for example, aluminum has the highest amount of embodied carbon compared with other building materials. It amounts to 9.16 kilograms of CO2 per kilogram of aluminum, essentially releasing 9.16 kilograms of CO2 to the environment for every kilogram we use. Therefore, it is important that we design our buildings using the right material so that we can keep the embodied carbon index within the sustainable range. Now that we've gone through the short form of CapitaLand sustainability journey, I would like to take you briefly through a few of the measures that we have successfully implemented in 3 of our projects. First up, Funan. Funan is an integrated development located in Singapore's Civic and Cultural District. It comprises a 6-story retail component, premium grade A office, and co-living service residence, Life Funan Singapore. To achieve a high energy efficiency, Funan has incorporated a number of technologies. It uses a climate-friendly refrigerant chilled water system. The chiller uses R1233ZD refrigerant, which has a global warming potential value of 1, and is the first of its kind to be deployed in an integrated development in Singapore. This will prevent about 2,400 tons of CO2 from being emitted, equivalent to the annual emissions of 750 cars. Not only is the refrigerant easier on the environment, but it also allows for a higher energy efficiency in our chilling plant that provides operational savings, and we anticipate a payback period of roughly 8 years. We've included low energy facade to reduce solar heat transmission and use LED light fittings with an intelligent control system. We have no direct east-west facing facade and targeted an overall ETTV of about 37 watts per square meter. Aggressive lighting targets were given to our tenants. We also use air-to-water heat pumps to produce hot water. We've included a heat recovery system and have a ductless jet fan system in our car park for ventilation. Now for renewable energy, there are 3 sets of 1.16 kilowatt peak solar panels which supply an urban farm on the roof of the building. These are operated and maintained by the tenant, with the power going to the tenant, which is the urban farm. The key takeaway is that even if you're the tenant of a building instead of the owner, you may be able to improve your overall energy efficiency with solar panels. Talk to your owner. In summary, energy efficiency is very important to us right from the concept and design stages. While there are some measures that are best taken during construction, such as facade, it's always worth looking at your individual systems and your lighting to see where there might be further savings possible. And of course, always try to put in solar panels. We have also taken steps within the mall to reduce our environmental impact in other ways. We'll be using rainwater harvesting to supply our greenery in the 18,000 square foot food garden and 5,000 square foot urban farm. We encourage active and sustainable lifestyles with an indoor rock climbing, indoor cycling path. The mall also did a bit of reimagining with construction and retail experience. Innovative construction methods were incorporated, including the application of virtual design and construction and a top-down construction method. There was a tree of life put in, which is a 25-meter tall design centerpiece growing from the basement level 2 all the way to level 4. And lastly, the mall is a showcase of digital initiatives, from facial recognition access to the office blocks to searching and browsing for trending merchandise. Now, Ascot Limited has always maintained that sustainability will be a long-term driver for the hospitality industry, and more so for the long-stay business. We aim to make all Mascot global properties green by 2030, use increasing percentages of renewable energy, and significantly reduce our carbon emissions along with our energy and water usage intensities. As Ascot, we focus on 4 areas: saving water, saving energy, reducing the use of paper, and reducing waste. Let me outline what 2 of our properties have done in this regard as case studies. For our Somerset Greenways, Chennai, we achieved EDGE certification in December 2020. We leveraged technology and innovation to support the sustainability efforts. We use motion sensors in the common areas, as well as energy-efficient LED lights. We use higher thermal performance glass and external shading devices to reduce the amount of external heat that gets through the facade. We also upgraded the centralized air chilling plant with energy-efficient chillers with variable speed drives for pumps and cooling tower fans. Each of these efforts serves to increase our energy efficiency, and when combined, they gave us a 42% savings from business as usual, which in this case equated to 1,565 megawatt hours per year. Both our Somerset Greenways Chennai and Citadines OMR Chennai purchased most of their electricity from an off-site wind farm and recently translated to operating with 100% green energy. In addition to this, Citadines is also fitted with 70 solar panels on the rooftop that are used to generate hot water that is supplied to the guest rooms. So not just solar energy, but also solar hot water. The combined solar power and on-site hot water increases our energy efficiency. For these properties, water plays an integral part of our greening process. In our India properties, we've reduced potable water consumption by over 55% from the baseline requirements established by the Energy Policy Act in 2015 by using aerators for our taps and low-flow flushes for the water closets. Each of the properties also comes with its own sewage treatment plant, which helps take water from the guest rooms and F&B establishments, treats it to tertiary standards, and supplies it to the cooling towers of the cooling towers to provide chilled water for the air conditioning system. This allows us to save 60,000 liters of water per day at both of the properties. Now, embedding sustainability in our project and reducing our consumption is critical to CapitaLand. Therefore, we're not content to sit back, watch the industry develop, and look for the newest technologies just that are off the shelf. We launched an inaugural CapitaLand Sustainability X Challenge in 2021, the first sustainability-focused innovation challenge in the built environment on a global scale by a Singaporean real estate company. Through the CSXE, we aim to source for promising solutions or technologies globally to accelerate our progress to meet our 2030 master plan targets. Our ambition is to use CSXE as a platform to accelerate innovation and collaboration in the built environment and catalyze and bring together the ecosystem. We see innovation as a key to further improving our energy efficiency and helping to address issues faced by properties that cannot undergo major overhauls. Our CSXE grand finale was held on the 11th of June, with the two winners receiving $50,000 to fund their pilots at select CapitaLand properties. In this edition, we had 7 challenge statements focusing on 4 key areas: low carbon transition, water conservation resilience, waste management and circular economy, and healthy and safe buildings. The challenge statements were developed by over 40 participants globally from CapitaLand, industry experts, and support from NUS Enterprise. We received 270 entries from over 25 countries. There were a wide range of promising innovations, ranging from clean energy solutions, such as low heat recovery and solar related, energy efficiency improvements, such as a glazing shield, one of our winners, smart energy management solutions, and HVAC improvements, to water and waste management and circulatory solutions. We also received innovations to improve indoor air quality, addressing threats such as COVID-19 and haze. Our 2 winner solutions we felt were both innovative and impactful, and they're going to be trialed very shortly in our properties. Think of the huge energy savings opportunity if we could reduce the heat load in existing buildings and corresponding with the energy consumption without expensive window replacement. Our InnoViews finalists presented a non-invasive and non-disruptive retrofit solution, which should perform more reliably than temporary solutions like solar film. Our other finalist is going to trial a cooling tower water treatment that does not use chemicals or power, yet allows a higher cycle of concentration. In the next months, we'll be piloting the solutions. We've also selected 8 non-winners who have promising solutions that could help us meet our 2030 master plan targets and are in discussion on possible pilots at our properties. We'll be conducting this contest on an annual basis, and we welcome promising and innovative solutions on new technologies that can help the real estate sector push boundaries on sustainability to work with us. As you have heard, at CapitaLand, we use our sustainability master plan to help drive our energy efficiency, and we believe so strongly in innovation and the potential of innovation that we've created our own annual global call targeted at startups. We look for ways to incorporate energy efficiency at every part of the process, at design, at construction, and at operation, as this is so critical to us. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and now we'll pass back over to Shu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ted. And indeed, the master plan that you have shared just now incorporates a lot of environmental and social well-being aspects. And the projects that you have highlighted in Funan and in India are state-of-the-art buildings with innovative features that I'm sure All this will serve as inspirations for our SBF members and SMEs. Before we move on to our second poll session, I'd like to share the results from the first poll. May I have the results from the first polling session, please? Right. Which area of sustainability are you most keen on? Most of the people here indicated energy efficiency, which is why you signed up for our webinar. And it's very relevant, as well as green building followed by renewable energy. And would you, for the next question, would you consider taking on sustainable financing for your projects? We have 67% saying yes and 22% undecided. So hopefully after our webinar today, you can decide and go to the yes. And what will be your main reason if you decide not to adopt sustainable financing? 38% say that they're unsure how to go about doing so, as well as the upfront cost involved. And okay, so really we hope that you can stay on with us during this webinar so that we can share more ways on how other companies are going about doing it, and you can draw inspiration for your companies. And the last question, most people here are interested to explore financial grants to help take your business overseas. Yeah, we are very happy by that. And with that, SBF and my colleagues, we would be reaching out to you after the webinar to find out more about your needs and how we can assist you on your internationalization journey. So let's move on to our second poll for today. Think about what will make you click and take up sustainable financing. And should you have a project in mind, what is the time frame like? May I have the poll questions launched, please? You'll see a poll with 3 questions on the screen. Answer all questions and click on Submit. This will serve as a basis for our discussion at the Q&A session later. And again, the poll questions will be left there for about 5 minutes. So do take your time to answer all 3 questions. Our last speaker is Mr. Vincent Low, founder and vice president of G Energy Global Private Limited, a Singapore award-winning ESCO or energy services company. G Energy has an impressive track record in hotels, commercial and industrial buildings in Singapore and overseas. And Vincent is a qualified energy services specialist administered by the BCA, NEA, a Green Mark Advanced accredited professional, a Singapore certified energy manager. He is also the chairman of the Energy Efficiency Committee at the Sustainable Energy Association of Singapore. Vincent will tell us more about financing energy efficiency projects for the built environment from an ESCO's perspective. Vincent, the floor is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank SBF and UOB invite me to share with you on this journey on financing energy efficiency projects for our built environment. Okay, before I go on the presentation, I need to I need to give you an overview why I'm in this EE space for the past 20 years. Okay, 20 years ago, when I started this journey on EE consulting service, I did a project, and surprisingly, after I do the whole retrofit for this building, and I able to save about 1.1 million USD at that time. That is 20 years ago. You can imagine at that time when I'm quite shocked when I see this happen, because basically every month is almost 100,000, and that building had been the past 15 years already. So that's to say, the last 15 years actually they wasted about 15 million in terms of profit they should have. This is what made me so excited about this field, and until today, I share and teach in BCA, I teach in university, and I also share a lot of this know-how to a lot of conference and examiners. Now, the reason why I share this because I want to share how you see today, after 20 years, is this the same thing happen? So this is a recent projects that I did, okay, and there is these 7 projects, hotels and offices. So what happened? I want to show you after 20 years, and you see that out of these 7 buildings, there is a potential to save 858,000 per year. So this tells me that a lot of owners may not know that actually they are not as efficient and they do not operate in a way that they can actually cut down a lot of energy. So same thing happened even until 20 years. I'm sad to see this, but nevertheless, this is not only for Singapore, this is for a lot of country. It happens here. Okay, the same things that I see. Now, so this amount of saving equate to, you can imagine, 3.1 million of CO2 emission. And do you think that it's possible to put in 15,000 trees to offset this, just for these 7 buildings? So a lot of the owners tell me, listen, no, day one, we are buying very efficient equipment, you know, we don't need to go to detail. Now, in my past 20 years experience, I feel that there is a need, okay, even though you are whether building a new building or a new factory or plant, my recommendation is that get your architects, engineers intact, but get an energy consultant or ESCO come in to advise you how to optimize it, okay? Because in the end, you see the past 20 years, it still happens. So this is where I think it's important for all of us, because over here we have owners, we have SME, we have people in the industrial. So I want to share with them, this is what happened to our industry now. And now we may ask, okay, 850,000. So what is the investment? The investment is $4 million, and the payback is 4.8 years. Think about it. Day one, we should not have this happen. We should not have this type of saving. We should operate them efficiently. But why this happened? And this building, surprisingly, this 7 buildings, they are between 4 to 10 years. So imagine 4 years old building already has this performance. So technically, I think it's really wise to get a third party to review, to make sure that the design day one is efficient. So even though I'm an ESCO, I'm supposed to help existing building to save. But before I do that, I say day one new building must be efficient. That is where I look at is important. So imagine if this is happening 800,000. So do you think you want to save this day one? So I think it's important that we have to understand, and this is happening now. So now let's look at EPC point of view. I do a quick study on this, and for this project, I propose to have a 10% sharing with the client. At the same time, contract 15 years. After replacing the whatever equipment, yes, I over here I show you there is a profit of both. Okay, to start this program or this project, you see the groups itself, they make 4.4 million, and ESCO, me, we make 1.9 million. 30% out of the 100%. Do you think it's worth to do this business? I think nothing affect the owner, but the thing is that the owner gains something. So this is where I think it's important to all of us to look into it. Now, next thing is I want to show where is the usage of energy consumption. So you can look at the office building, hotels, and factory. So of course we know air conditioning use one of the highest consumption. Therefore, we tackle this area. Doesn't mean that we don't tackle the air, the lighting, the water pumps, the lift. No, but let's look at the major use consumption area. Okay, of course there is industrial people talk to me. This is what happened. Our industrial, it seems like everybody talk about commercial, never talk about. Now, recently I did a study for one electronic industry, and this plant already 10 years old. Do you know how much the saving? I go and study just the air conditioning usage. The saving is 1.6 million. So you can imagine 10-year-old factory and saving 1.6 million per year, but wasted for the last 10 years. So that is to say, they wasted 16 million already. Even factory. Now, of course, they will say, Vincent, you did not look into the compressor, the hot water system. Of course, we will look into it, but the thing is that let's look at which is the most important to do it first. Doesn't mean we cannot do it. So I also encourage those SME or owners who started a new factory to look into this day one. Very important, because I don't want to see you waste all these chances. Because once you build, I know you will never want to do anything until the next 10 or 15 or 20 years. So this is important. So I give you an overview for those people who are not familiar in air conditioning. Okay, this is a chart to show for those hotels, shopping mall, and industrial where they use big chillers. This is where they come in, the chillers and the pumps and cooling tower. This is what we call a system. So how they operate, whether efficient or not, you look at this chart below, most of them running at between 1 to 1.2. That is to say, what is the meaning of 1.2? 1.2 means 1 kilowatt per ton of cooling. Okay, you see the left, kilowatt per ton. Okay, so basically the 1 kilowatt means one energy consumption per cooling of one room, example. Okay, so if you can do it at 0.5 means you're 50%, or if it's 0.6, you're 50% efficient. So the lower the better. So this is where they gauge. So we are not gauging. So people ask me, oh, Vincent, don't worry, we just buy the best efficient equipment will do. No, because you buy the most efficient doesn't mean you operate efficiently. Because don't forget, you look at this chart, you look at the whole of the system. Is important. And moreover, there is cases you're running at different performance. Just like you drive, you may not every time 100 kilometers or 80 kilometers, you sometimes 50, 60, sometimes 160, right? So somebody has to study this and tell you what is the best combinations to help you. So this is important. So now, just now Jasper shared about the U Energy program. Now, for those people who existing plant are not efficient, who want to do something on EE space, now, without coming your own money, UOB fund it and sign a contract, 5 years, 10 years, depends on the investment and also energy saving. So this is a process that where I put up for you to basic understand. First is people like us, as an ESCO, we gather information, what you have, and then we sign NDA, do not release your information to other people. And then we do a model and see what is the saving potential. So there is client tell me, say, listen, that can we just do just one adjustment and have to do the saving, and I don't need to come out any fund. I say yes, of course. Okay, but if you can save $10, do you want to save $2? Or you want to save all the $10? Decision is yours. Because first thing I think of is, if there is an EPC, there is a funds provided, do it. Why don't you do everything? Because anyway, it's your money. So this is important. So basically from here, once we see potential saving, like why I show you the 7 buildings, then you should sign the term sheet 1 to do the investment grade audit. You see the blue color is because we need to do a full audit of the building to make sure that what we say is true. Okay, so once we do the full audit, at the same time we will do the final models and then do the credit analysis of the company. Once we feel that everything is okay and we meet the performance, we will present to the board to show to the customer or the owner how is the performance. After which, if you agree that the saving is there and we sign the term sheet too, and we start prepare due diligence and legal documentation, and also negotiate the terms and conditions, and finally present to the board. And once agreed, we sign contract, and that's how we move. Okay, this is a process where ESCO, like us, how we go through to make sure that without coming in any fund, but you agree all the conditions, then we start move on from there. Okay, I show you example. This is a real example where an EPC project. I didn't show you the full hotel name, but I give you an overview. Basically, this hotel, you see, this hotel running at 1.2 kilo per ton, 16 years old. Okay, and this is before. So after the agree, we do a IGA. Okay, so this IGA result, you can see that is the average about 400 ton. Okay, we 347. Daytime, nighttime is 199. Okay, so what is the efficiency? Just on the chart. Where are they? 1.24 daytime, 1.14 at night. Okay, so this is all facts based and measured every minute. So what happened after complete the retrofit and replace the whole chillers, new equipment, new pumps? You can see that they are running at about 340 ton average. It's similar to what before, no change. But what a performance? Okay, performance is running at 0.63. So you can see that it's from 1.2 to 0.6. So saving is about 46%. So you see what happened? This is what happened to this plant. Okay. So what we do is that how do you monitor? Some people ask me, okay, how do you continue monitor? So we put in a system to continue monitor them. You can see this chart, and you monitor where are you. Okay, you can monitor from your computer, from your iPad, from your iPhone, whatever. And you can track, and even what we're trying to do now, also we generate report for you to submit for BCA 3-yearly requirement. So finally, for this particular project, the saving is 350,000. So you can imagine. So what we declare at that time is 0.65. You can see. So now they are running at 0.3. Okay. So this is where I see the potential growth in this area and how actual it is, and make sure that we perform as what we say. Okay, G Energy mission is to really inspire and empower people to take our small steps. We encourage everybody to do this, and we want to lead the sustainable world for people through people. So we are ESCO, and this is our 16 years, and we are also outstanding energy service provider by our agency NEA. So this is the where are we? So Singapore, we are HQ, and we have Indonesia, Malaysia, and Shanghai is all funded by ESG to fund us to start up an office down there. And we have partners in Guangzhou, Philippines, Shenzhen, and Thailand, and Xiamen. Now, look at the right side, the 10 services. This is basically the type of service that we provide to industry. And the 10 of them, you can see that this is basically for Singapore. OC, there will be maybe 1 or 2 less. What we do, we audit, because audit is a fact-based, so we measure it. And then what we do, we design. We got design team, project management team to complete the job, and finally, those who want to do green building and BIM, and you can see that we do energy performance contracting. We fund the project, working with UOB, and then we have monitoring for them, and we do aircon services also, and 3-year monitoring, and finally turnkey. This is the work that we do for our client. So this is the saving that the past projects. You can see that easily from millions to 100,000. Okay, so some of the track records that we have been doing about 700 projects. So I just glance through some of the projects. You can see this. This is a Malaysian project. Okay, this is a Sunday pyramid. We save about 5 million ringgit per year. This is a job that we did many years ago, and we did commercial industrial. So basically, even main contractors, because of design and build, they engage us. They want to work with them to design, to help them to make sure that design is efficient. So I hope that with this presentation, all of us, whether SME or corporation or industrial, let's go back and look at it. Are we doing our parts to make sure that we are efficient? If you need help, call us. We will be there to support you. Thank you very much. Sue, back to you.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for your very comprehensive presentation just now from G Energy. And ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our results from the second poll. And may I once again remind people, ladies and gentlemen watching this, to feel free to type in your questions for the speakers to address using the Q&A button. Can I get my colleague to share the results from the second poll that was conducted just now, please? And Jasper, coming from a bank, could I seek your thoughts on the poll results?
Thanks, Shu. Obviously, from the poll results, you can see that over half of the audience are looking at potential cost saving, which is obviously that's a very common reaction. But we are also encouraged that there's also audience who have said that they're aligned with the government initiative, as well as doing the part to save the planet Earth. And obviously that's quite the theme that we are seeing now across our clients. The question is, where do I start? How do I start? And when do I start? Right? So that's the questions that CFO, CEO are asking themselves, or business owner asking themselves. What can I do? How can I do it? And where should I go to start? Yeah. Would you want me to look at the second one?
I think in time of the because we don't have a lot of time left, so I would like to start the Q&A session now so that we can have a good discussion later on with all the panelists. So let's move on to today's Q&A session. We'll try our best to answer the questions that we have received, and we have been receiving quite a lot of questions from the audience today, so thank you for that. But keep your questions coming in, because for questions that we cannot answer today, then we will work with the speakers after the webinar and come back to you. If I can just go on to, okay, I'll just wait for my colleague to start the spotlighting so that all the four people, myself, Jasper, Vincent, and Ted are on screen now. Okay, and Vincent. Vincent, can I get you to on your video? Okay, fantastic. So now we have four of us here to start our Q&A session. And if I can just pose a question to Ted, we have one audience who is asking whether CapitaLand can advise suitable users for Singapore's migrant workers' dorms used water. And not sure, she's not sure if the building STPs like those that CapitaLand did in Chennai are applicable or economical given considerations to PUB's existing infrastructure. So Ted, if you can address that question.
Sure, happy to address that question. And in a nutshell, that is correct. PUB manages Singapore's sewer system and wastewater treatment on a national scale. So anything from the worker dorms goes into the PUB system and is managed through PUB. So it would not be economical for any private developer to build their own STPs, even if PUB would happen to allow it. Because what PUB does is they put all the wastewater into the deep tunnel sewage system. They shuttle it to one of 3 wastewater treatment plants and then eventually turn it into new water, which becomes industrial water. So any private recycling within Singapore of that type of waste would hurt new water production. So it's not a solution for Singapore, which is why we have done it in water scarce areas such as India, where there is stress on the local municipal sewer systems and stress on water production. So in places outside of Singapore, such as that, we have found it to be an economical and useful alternative. I hope that addresses the question.
Yes, thank you so much. And if I can turn to Jasper, actually we have a lot of questions from the audience addressed to you, but I'll just pick one or two to address it now. One of the audience said that they have got offices in 7 countries and they're involved in energy assessment, analytics, and advisory. So does UOB finance only applies to Singapore or other countries as well? And I think a related question to that would actually be regarding the U Energy program that you have mentioned earlier. Can you elaborate more on the commercial and industry segment and the residential segment? And is there a minimum scale requirement for these schemes?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sue. Yes, so the U Energy program is across the 4 key markets for UOB. Of course, the Singapore will be the first launch for us. Then we're looking at Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and later on we will be looking into China and Hong Kong as well. So I'm not sure if that is the 7 countries that you're talking about, but these are the footprints that we have. Now, for other countries that where we have footprint, we will look at it from a case by case basis. Now, with regards to the U Energy program, we don't have a minimum size. With regards to commercial, industrial, so we will look at offices, retail, of course, commercial, public buildings, industrial, data center as well. So it's fairly wide variety, and hotels as well. So those are the coverage for the building and industrial. And regards to residential, so residential are more, we'll be launching a program that we will shortly announce with one of our partners with regards to how we can help residential house owner like yourself and me included, whereby if you have a UOB credit card, you can just use your UOB credit card to pay 0% interest, and you can pay through 36 months installment. So more details with that coming up in our launch in October.
Yeah, sounds great. And I'm glad that I have a UOB card with me so I can go to you anytime. So turning to Vincent, what is the typical payback period on investment for your solutions? And since you have been focusing quite a lot on chiller plant solutions, do you work with the providers focusing on other areas to provide a bundled solution for building owners? Vincent, I think you are on mute, so you have to unmute yourself. Okay, great.
Generally, the number of year is between 2 to 5 years. Of course, if they sign EPC, that will be easily 4 to 8 years or 10 years, depend on what the owner want. Because some owners say, okay, I want to have some return first. I want 20% return first. Can we do that? Can I have include comprehensive maintenance? Anything breakdown, not my problem. You do it, everything. Then all these costs I put in. Okay, so technically it's all depend on the client themselves. Definitely, generally I see the market is between 2 to 5 years. Okay, so this is general. The other question is what?
The other question is on whether you work with other solutions providers other than the chiller plant solutions and offer a bundle solution.
Okay, generally, yes, we do because G Energy don't sell product. Okay, what we do is that in order to ensure that our client have a best efficient performance equipment, so we will call in all the respective vendor. Example, if talk about air compressors, so we will ask different vendor come in, then we will do a mapping and see how they operate in terms of the load profile, and so that we will advise the client which one is more suitable in terms of payback. But of course, if they prefer something not efficient, but because of they like the brand, we leave it to them. Because at the end of the day, it's still the choice. So the good thing is that we make it very independent. We show the whole spectrum of all the equipment they have and let them decide. So we work with basically all the relevant equipment suppliers in the market.
Okay, great. So the answer is yes. So now we are coming to the end of our webinar. If I can get our panelists here to share with us their short closing remarks. And what is the one key message that you want to leave behind for our audience after this webinar has ended? Can I start with Vincent, please?
Hey, I think important is no matter what you do, especially if you want to retrofit your building or your new building, as I said again, engage the ESCO to look at it. Okay, whether it's me or not, it's not important. It's important you get these people to come in. I think Jasper will give you a list of ESCO. I think it's good to get all these people, select them, a good one, help you, because it will definitely you gain something. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vincent. And Ted?
All right, I would like to leave with these final thoughts. We've found that improving our energy efficiency is good for our business and is also good for the planet. So please make any efforts you can to manage and improve your energy efficiencies in any ways that you can, including asking questions about your buildings, asking questions to your building owners, and looking for opportunities within them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ted. And Jasper, please.
Yeah, thanks. So I think before the conference start, I share with the hosts and also our panel speakers that in fact, UOB take our sustainability efforts seriously. So we are moving to a new office this week, and the office that we are moving into is UOB owned, but it's also certified Green Mark Gold Plus. So I was like very surprised that that even offices now can be certified, as a Green Mark certification. So I'm so glad with that. Now, second point is also Ted has said, ask questions. Ask questions about your building, find out more about what you can do. And as Vincent has said, go and engage a accredited ESCO. If you don't know who to engage, when we launch our program, you can check out our program, how to help you save more money for your business. So that's the thing I will leave with everyone. Thank you.
Okay, so I think to sum up, get an accredited ESCO, ask questions, and know more about sustainable financing for EE projects, and especially UOB. So as the saying goes, the cheapest and cleanest energy choice of all is not to waste it. And energy efficiency is definitely a great way to reduce our carbon emissions and generate cost saving for our businesses. And on behalf of SBF, we would like to thank Jasper, Ted, and Vincent for joining us today and addressing this very important topic. And also thank you to the Sustainable Energy Association of Singapore for your support to our event. Next up on our calendar, we will be organizing the 5th episode in our series of webinars with UOB, Financing for Electric Vehicles on 3rd November at 3 p.m. So if you have a car and are thinking of whether to switch to an EV car, please join us. But more importantly, if your business involves some sort of land transportation, such as cars, taxis, buses, or trucks, or if you are in logistics, e-commerce, or cold chain sectors, this webinar will definitely be of interest to you. So watch out for it when we launch it. And you're definitely not alone in your sustainability journey. SBF and UOB will be conducting free business consultation for you. And simply email my colleague Chi Hao to register your interest. And you can see 2 QR codes on your screen now. On the left-hand side, if you scan the QR code using your mobile phone, it will lead you to the SBF Infrastructure Committee website and show you the type of work that we deal with. And if you are interested to join us in our infrastructure interest group, then do scan the QR code on the right-hand side. It's actually free of charge to sign up, and SBF will keep you updated about infrastructure and sustainability projects and opportunities regularly. And last but not least, we would appreciate if you can take some time after this webinar to fill out a short survey form administered by Forbes Research. It's a third-party consultant pertaining to this webinar, and by scanning the QR code on your mobile phone. And this only takes you less than 5 minutes. So once again, my name is Shulin from SBF, and I'm very pleased to be your host for today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you.